Hi everyone, it's the Music Reel. In 2017, a Brisbane conductor and a guitarist got a couple of friends together at a local pub to sing some songs. And here we are in 2020, well, pre-lockdown at least, and you've got hundreds of strangers getting together in a local pub for pub choir. Total game changer. We've got Astrid Jorgenson with us today. Astrid, you're the founder of Pub Choir. It's lovely to meet you.
Yeah, you too. This is the realest meeting we can have right now. So it's lovely to meet you too.
That's it. It's the realest meeting. You guys, seriously, we've got bands that we work that have got to try and get 4 to 5 people together on stage to sing together. You've got hundreds of strangers doing it. What is your secret?
Well, secret to wrangling them, just be really bossy. I think with pub choir and with couch choir and every sort of show that we do, the audience has to trust each other and they have to trust me. And so in order for that to happen, I have to really take charge. So if you've been to a show, I can be very bossy, but it's because I'm the only one who knows the arrangement. So I can see where we've got to be, and my job is to bring everyone along as smoothly as I can. So whereas in a band, everyone's got their own task and you don't necessarily know everything that everyone else is doing, but at pub choir, I guess, I'm in charge. So I've got to take charge. I don't really know. There's no secret. We just tell them what to do.
Astrid, I love it. Astrid is the boss. So you've had some pretty major names in the music industry come and do a pub choir with you. How did you get that to happen?
Well, I guess success kind of breeds success. It was all about getting the first one, which was JC from Powderfinger, the bass player. He owns the Triffid in Brisbane, which is a venue that we spent a lot of time building our audience at. And he loved the show. I guess it was just that we had the opportunity for him to actually see it, because I feel like it's a pretty crazy concept to sell to people if they've never been. But he was in the room and was like, holy moly, this is insane. And so he was really keen to be a part of it. And then once you get one, you can use that against other people. So, it's easy to get Paul Kelly involved if you've also worked with Ben Lee and Ella Hooper and Dave Faulkner, and a whole raft of other people. But if you just email Paul Kelly and say, can you come and sing the same song all night with 1,000 strangers, they're probably going to say no.
No, well done. And also you received, what was it? The Queensland Community Foundation Emerging Philanthropist of the Year in 2019, which is amazing. And that's because of the funds that you've been raising for charity over the years with Pub Choir. Can you tell us a little bit about how that started?
Do you know what? I don't think I've ever said this out loud, but to be honest, it started with the complaint. Someone complained on our Facebook wall and just said, so we had, I forgot all about this. We had a show at the end of every month, on the last Wednesday of every month, and in 2018, I think, or something, it just so happened that the last Wednesday of the month was Anzac Day, and so we had a show that night, as per every month. And someone was just like, I find this I feel like you are devaluing Anzac Day. And I was like, whoa, that's a huge call. And all of the ceremony stuff is over at midday, and then the pub's open on Anzac Day and people gamble and all sorts of things. And I was kind of like, I think pub choir kind of represents the essence of mateship, of like helping each other do something together and sharing a goal. I mean, it's not like wartime, but it's it's working together to do something positive and helping each other and stuff. So I responded that, but I was like, I think, I can see that it's a real concern you have. And what if we pick a charity that is linked to Anzac Day? So I remember the first charity we ever partnered with was Veterans Off the Street Australia. And that was for that Anzac Day show. And people really gave, and then I realized that everyone who comes to the show has this sense of like almost like community euphoria. Like, we did this, we can do anything, and they feel amazing together, even though they're all strangers. And then I just realized that you can just harness that at every single show, really, because it's like turning that community goodwill that the show gives them into something tangible for people. So since then, we would have raised over $250,000 in a couple of years.
Wow.
And that's, you know, us donating a portion of ticket sales, and then also people just being so generous at shows, which is amazing. It's really nice to see that there is an actual, tangible outcome to the good feeling that people get at the show.
You have created something so unique. And Mark here, yes, he's gone to a couple of your shows, biggest fan.
Yep.
I know he's got some questions for you.
No, pleasure having a chat with you today, Astrid. And look, props for the product that you guys are putting forward. It's absolutely amazing. And as you're just saying before, it's that there's this amazing sense of community when you're in an event like that. The last one I went to actually was the Lighthouse Family High that you did at the Pushworth, was it, I think?
The Tivoli, yeah.
Tivoli, sorry, my bad. Always get those two mixed up. Such a fantastic night. It's I can't wait to see it again, you know, actually in the real world. It'd be great to get out there with another couple hundred people again. But look, as far as a question goes for you today, what would be the best song that's been done in pub choir today, and why?
I mean, I guess that's a personal question, because everyone who goes along will have a different response. But we've had really cool nights. Like, I guess best could be measured by a lot of different things. I think the video I've watched back the most is our first Christmas special when we did How to Make Gravy at Brisbane City Hall. It was just the wildest night. And I think there's just so much wrapped in that experience for me, but it was the first time I'd added in like orchestration to pub choir, and it just was like just so overwhelming hearing it. I don't know, and that's just one of my favorite songs as well. Like, I really love Paul Kelly, so I don't know, I think there was lots of things paired with that. I think a lot of people comment to us that their favorite night that they ever attended, you know, like regulars and stuff who've been to heaps, said that the Life in a Northern Town was their favorite show.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I guess it depends what you're looking for, but yeah, I guess I watched the Christmas How to Make Gravy one the most, because there's something that was just so magical about that night.
It was an amazing vibe from that one. I've watched it a few times myself.
So now, obviously, we've had lockdown and no one has been able to go out to pubs until recently, you know, 10 people at a time. So how did you start the whole couch choir?
I mean, out of necessity. I wasn't going to do it originally. The crew, we were basically fleeing America because we were in the middle of like a sold out little string of shows in America, heading towards the South by Southwest Festival, which is like, you know, without sounding like a real idiot, it's just a really prestigious festival to get onto the lineup of, you know, and it's also film and comedy and all sorts of stuff. So it's a huge worldwide thing. And so we were traveling to the US. We had New York shows in San Francisco and LA and all this stuff. And just at the very beginning of that, the pandemic was sort of becoming more apparent, like the risks and what we needed to do to distance, and we realized we had to cancel all of our shows, forfeit all that money and the flights and all the accommodation and stuff, and just get back to Australia as soon as possible. And on that flight home, I just chatted with my crew, and I was like, we've lost everything. We really need to innovate or we die, in a business sense, you know, like it's, if we don't come up with an idea to keep momentum going, because we were really kind of reaching a bit of a peak, actually, I think, you know, and so I was like, we need to capitalize on that or we give up, you know. So I had seen some virtual choirs in the past, but I think what makes us really unique is that it's there's no boundaries to joining. So lots of virtual choirs kind of exist where they are a choir, or like you have to join if you can read sheet music or something like that. And I think we turned what we do in our live stage show just into the virtual world. Anyone is welcome, anyone is good enough, and I'll break it down in such a way that you will feel comfortable to join in. And so couch choir is pretty much the exact same thing as pub choir. It's just done in isolation at home, which brings a whole new vibe to it, because at the pub everyone's quite rowdy. It's very boisterous, and you sort of sing as loud as you possibly can, and that feels very freeing. But at couch choir, I guess the big difference is you're singing alone, and so it's quite a gentle experience. Like, it's people singing thoughtfully and hopefully, like, they hope that it works out because they can only hear themselves and they're like, I really hope that there's someone better singing. And so the products are actually really different, even though the concept is very similar, you know, join in, follow the instructions. But it's been a pretty wild ride. But yeah, I guess it was just born out of necessity though. Like, it wasn't like I was sitting there dwelling on it for years and had like this brilliant idea. It was just like I was super desperate on the flight home, and I was like, let's do it online. But it's worked out. So I'm obviously grateful for that.
It has all the best ideas are born out of necessity. So well done.
I suppose, Astrid, moving forward, how does a choir adapt to social distancing?
I don't know. That's the big question. I was just in a big webinar the other day with like 1,400 other choral directors talking about the future of choir in Australia. Nobody knows anything, I think, was the takeaway from that. I mean, they were talking about like open air singing and only humming. And I'm like, that's not very fun. So I think really we have to wait until there are no new cases for an extended period of time, or there's a vaccine. Obviously, I'm not going to put into jeopardy the safety of my audiences. That's like, you know, number one priority. We want people to be well. I'm obviously keen to get back. You know, it's my livelihood and it's what I'm best at, working with a live audience. So I think it would be grand to get back, but I have no idea of the time frame. Unfortunately, I think it's a little bit different to other live music experiences where you could be a band and play to 30 socially distanced people. It still wouldn't be as cool as a mosh pit, but they still consume the music in the same kind of way. Whereas with pub choir, it's really about collaboration. So to do it with 30 people in a big room, socially distanced, is not going to feel very fun, I don't think. So we'll see. But I genuinely have no idea when this is going to open up for us. As far as I'm concerned, if they're hosting big sport matches with audiences, then we're good to go.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, look, I think I'll put all of the links to pub choir and couch choir in this post. It is such a great initiative, and it's all about, like you said, collaboration, connection, community. Don't stop doing what you're doing, Astrid. It is such a game changer in the entertainment industry. It's brought so much joy into people's lives. And now at this time of crazy, we really need that. So make sure you keep going. We'll stay in touch with you. We want to watch what you're doing with couch choir, and we wish you every success moving forward with this, Astrid. It's just phenomenal. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good. Yeah, we should have this every day. You just give me compliments and I'll feel
not a problem. All right, Astrid, take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye, Mark.
Lovely to
Bye, Astrid.